What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. Today we have a very fun, special video for you, and we are joined by Overthrow Disc Golf. We have Josh, we have Mikey, we have Dakota behind the camera, and we're doing top 5 discs that we hate. And I am so excited, and I'm going to preface by saying this is all fun and games. We're talking about the disc. If you happen to like one of these discs, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the disc.
We might be talking about you.
We're talking about the disc. It's really just fun. Comment down below what your most hated disc is, and we're going to jump into it. We're going to start at number 5. I also have Reed here. So me and Reed are going to represent Swanky and switch in and out, but he's got 5. He's got 5. Let's jump into it, and we're going to start with Mike. No, we're gonna,
Let me get my list going while you guys. Oh yeah.
Really quick though.
Yes, please.
I have found correlation. If any of the discs that I say you actually love, you probably do need to sign up for lessons.
First up is going to be Josh. What's your number 5?
Number 5. Okay, pick 1 through 5 randomly.
3.
3. The Fierce. I hate the feel in the hand. It's probably good. It probably flies great. I tried it one time because we found one on a course, and I was like, okay, let me try it. Let me throw it on the next hole. I hate like the rounded, how far down the top of the flight plate rounds.
It does scream grip lock me.
Yeah, I just hate the feel of it. So for me, that's an instant no.
Which is funny. That's a great example. I actually love the Fierce. It's one of my favorite understable putters.
You need lessons. Yeah, cut back to that.
I do desperately. First of all, yes.
That's right.
Discs are getting thrown in the fire. Okay, my number 5 is, I'm kind of cheating with this because it's not one specific disc, but all distance drivers that have an overmold are atrocious. We're talking pure overmolds, like from MVP specifically. I know there's like Tone Classic is different. It's not really overmold. It's
like under.
I don't mind. It's like undermold. That one feels pretty good, aside from the exploding situation every now and then. But the overmold from MVP on a distance driver is atrocious. It feels like it's almost bending off of the actual mold, and they kind of, I don't know, the width of the rim is insane, and it's sharp, and it is uncomfortable beyond all other things, other discs that I have held. Keep them away. And that's, very subjective opinion, but that's what this video is about. Mikey,
I'm kind of with you on that, by the way.
Hold on, did you like the Zion from Latitude? Have you thrown that?
I have not thrown the Zion, no.
Okay, so is it a plus molded thing, or is it specifically the feel of an overmold?
The plus mold thing is the big thing, because overmolded putters and mids from MVP, incredible. I love putters and mids.
Okay.
Plus mold.
Yes. When it's the distance driver and it's like that little bit extra is wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yes.
All right, hey, I got mine. This is great. So I'm a very positive person, so I have to like dig deep to remember, like, did I dislike anything? I can't remember. So I have grown in my dislike. Hate is a pretty strong word. But I kind of dislike the buzz. Hopefully that wasn't on anyone else's list. But the reason for it, I used to love the buzz. It was the first disc of that kind that I threw. I was like, oh, this is great. It just goes straight. I throw it really hard. It's kind of flew like a brick a little bit. But I didn't realize that until I started throwing. Oh, I threw a Pathfinder.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. And then it was like, whoa, this is way better feeling in my hand. The buzz was like, it after I went to the Pathfinder, it's like, oh, the buzz now feels sharp to me. It feels like it won't fly far. It's like, why would I give up just extra distance for no reason? And so Pathfinder, Hex, even the Berry, pretty much any other version of that disc I like more. So anyways, so buzz for me is definitely a dude. If you're throwing a buzz, I'll easily convince you, because I loved it too. So I will easily convince you not to throw it.
Okay, 1 through 4.
All right, you guys don't move.
Number 4. Let's do this.
That is the F-Pack zones. Gosh, what a failure of a marketing campaign.
Oh man. Oh man.
I don't like the zone already because of how deep it is. The peppermint was everything I was looking for in this flight. And man, we had so many left over that just didn't want to move in our inventory that we decided it was better to film an Ace video with them and just lose the money outright. For me, a couple of these discs that we're about to go through here are just as much marketing failures as they are disc failures. I'm kind of a business guy, and I've made a lot of business failures in my life. So takes one to know one totally applies here. This was just dropping the ball for me. How do you market 2 discs, one of which won't even become PDG legal? Like, buy 2, and hopefully the one that you like is the one that wins.
Hopefully.
Just not a good idea. And wrapped up into all of that. And then at the end, I called it in the beginning, Reddit, you can find it somewhere. Of course, they're never going to not approve both molds, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like I have a hard time buying. Of course, if someone was like, no, we really were going to go with the outright winner and not have both. But I called in the beginning, it's like, come on, you're going to approve both, and you're going to go with the idea of they were so close. People love them both so much. We have to approve both. It's like, no, it's $300 to get this approved. So you were already going to do that after you spent all the money on the wall.
Savage, bro.
Just feels like it was always headed that way. So you can call me fat and say I need to eat salads in the comment if you want. I'm up for getting roasted too.
Oh, this is great. It's going to me because that was my next. I only got two. I got 2 right now. Hopefully I'll come up with more as we go. As both zones, the Ace video, it was so tough to ace this thing. And for those reasons, I'm out.
And for those
we made equally as bad of a choice trying to ace with this.
Right.
We picked the wrong disc.
Right, yeah.
That's on us.
So I just got bad memories with those.
bad vibes. Into the fire it goes. Okay, number 4. My number 4 is the Lone Star Discs Texas Ranger. And this is a little bit more niche. Maybe some of you haven't even held this disc before, but if you have, I'm sure you said, what? Gosh, the hand feel of it. Yeah, Dakota's going to go get us one. The hand feel of this thing is really, really atrocious for me. I don't really understand how it can be just like so sharp on the bottom and feel just like,
oh, I felt it.
I just don't understand this profile, this rim hook. I don't know. What would you call this, John?
I can't
What's
look
happening
at it.
here?
I actually can't look at it. I get like...
It's a Comet.
Ooh,
that
let's start.
Is like a Comet had a baby with a what's that really sharp Discmania disc?
Mutant.
The mutant, a comet and a mutant.
Had a baby with a mutant.
The numbers on it are very appealing to me. I like the 5.5 -1.1 disc. I always got to have some neutral mid in the bag, and the plastic actually, I enjoy the feeling of this plastic, but it doesn't fly quite as neutral as this. To me, it's a little bit more overstable, and the hand feel it's one of the worst for me as far as a mid-range is concerned. So this one's definitely gonna go in the fire.
That's a car wreck, bro. Like, you can't look away. It's disturbing. I'm not joking. So I'm a very positive person, so I have to like dig deep.
All right, so that's the Texas Ranger catching some not so strays there, I guess. Some direct shots, but we are on to number 3. We're going back to Josh for number 3.
All right, give me, what do we do? 2 and 4?
Oh, you gotta keep track of it now.
I think the bottom.
Let's go with 3. Since we're on
3.
3.
Oh, yes.
This
I don't even know what
is
that is.
Prodigy.
Oh.
It's just Prodigy. This disc, Prodigy.
From that era.
From that era.
You know, the worst era. Now,
I just got chills.
we've
from
got
thinking-
so much of this on our shelf, and it feels like we need to spend time disc doctoring all of them before, like,
I did.
them.
I did, yeah.
We both did.
Right. And here's the thing. Again, back to the marketing campaign. Is like Prodigy, you know you had this era. Don't try to hide that crap. It's right here.
Sounds like a
everybody knows. Now, I also know that you've said that you fixed it. Now, if you fixed it, you need to drive a marketing campaign hard to show people. Because if I bought one of these in the past, you're gonna have to tell me that it's not gonna happen again, because it's just not worth it. So here's a free marketing idea. Take the discs from this generation. If you need some, we've got extra. Show how sharp they were, and have a cut test like they do with those knife commercials, and show this one cutting through the paper
Or the
and
steak.
show the damage that
Like a
this
Billy
does on the
Mays
steak.
infomercial, like
And then
how it
show,
cut.
yeah, exactly. Go infomercial, meme the old plastic, and then show your new
good idea.
plastic and show that it doesn't cut. Safe for hands. Put it in the hands of small children, babies, and then just say, but hey, we did fix it. Here's the proof. Like, Shoestrick's got cute kids. Put his on there.
This is wild. He handed it to me for effect. This is insane. This would legitimately cut your.
These
cut-
aren't even the drivers.
No, yeah,
I found myself 3 times going through the inventory.
yeah. Okay.
He said, yeah.
My number 3. If you guys are fans of the channel, you've heard me talk about all of the discs that I hate, really. But this one I talked about fairly recently. We're going the Golem from Divergent Discs. First off, any rubber blend disc. I know there's actually a sizable market of people out there who love floppy rubber blend discs. I am not that guy. I hate all floppy rubber blend discs personally, all the way back to the Blowfly. I cannot stand it. I'm so sorry. I hate that when I go to throw it, it like collapses in my hand and everyone's like, it doesn't roll away. It doesn't roll away. I'm like, it's not worth it for me. The Golem specifically, rubber blend floppy disk that flies like a Zone OS, which already the flight of a Zone OS for me is pretty useless. I cannot find any possible reason to like this disc. We reviewed it. Divergent Discs make some really cool stuff too. So I don't know what they were doing with the Golem.
Only of their discs that I've heard of, like, that I've seen multiple cases. I haven't seen one single case from any of their other discs where it just like splits in half.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've seen like multiple reports of the Golem, just like people on Reddit being like, hey, this was like the 3rd throw with this thing.
I didn't
Split
even
in
know
half.
that. That's hilarious. I've thrown it in an open field for like review testing and stuff, but that's wild.
Yeah, I do love
Another
the
reason.
ingenuity though.
Yeah.
Floppy disk, I mean, MP60 players,
I
rejoice.
And then he says,
I'm a
I'm
pretty
planning
yeah.
on hitting that tree. Give me a disc that won't go as far after I do.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That's true. That's very true. It has a niche
avoid
purpose. It nails that niche purpose that it has. So in some reasons, like, good on it, but that niche purpose is stupid. So number 3.
Okay, I've got one. Dakota reminded me. I need people to just remind me of discs I hate. So I don't have one after this. I'm gonna try to think hard. Yeah. So the Pixel, and honestly, like as with all MVP, I like the color, fancy colors. The designs are amazing, guys. When I was putting with this thing, I just couldn't get it to go in, and I don't know why it didn't, honestly, but I just know I ended up hating it. Every time I go to pick it up, we've got a stack of putters over here. I'm like, I'm gonna miss for some reason, and I don't know why, so I hate it. Woo!
All right, we got 2 left. So we are down to our top 2 discs we can't stand.
Yeah.
Josh, hit us with it.
Mine weren't in any particular order. Crazy Tough Focus. And just in general, anything from this Ledgestone 2021 drop, still on shelves everywhere, by the way. But this specifically, I was trying to find new putters. Not that any putter would have worked for me, but, you know, never know. So I bought 2 of these suckers, hit up the practice basket. When I spin putt, I putt kind of hard. This was not one of those days, okay? And so on basket number 8 from an inside the circle putt, I hit basket, and then I go pick it up, and it has just got a huge tear. Like, it just cracked within 8 holes of putting. And that's not like all long putts. I'm decent with the drive, but it broke. And I was like, wow. 8 throws, that's it. From then on, it didn't matter. I'm not going to buy another one. The experience was so bad that I was like, well, that's definitely not the putter. And then I ended up going with Judges. So that was it for me. Garbage.
Garbage. Can't stand the Focus. Yeah, the Focus is a weird one, that's for sure. All right, my number 2 is from a pretty niche company. I don't know how to pronounce it. If it looks like Loft to me, it might be Luft. I'm not 100% sure, but their driver is the Boreum, and this driver it feels crazy. It is the strangest, it's the only disc I've ever felt this way, where the bottom of the flight plate is almost seamless to the rim. There's nowhere to put your hand. I mean, seriously, my fingers cannot fit. I couldn't hold it to grip it to throw it. So I'm not sure who out there is throwing it, especially for like a backhand power grip. Like there's just no way to really hold it. I guess you could fan grip it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm the one who throws it. He's like, squeezing the mess out of
I
it.
just don't understand. There's really no way to hold the disc. So
It does not make it to the hit. I think it'll just slip out every time.
Slip out, yeah.
Granted, it had a kind of a cool flight. If
Yeah,
you like, I threw
yeah.
it early flipped and it like pushed really far. And at the very end, it was like, I'm dead. Fade hard. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, I actually liked the marketing and the idea behind it. I loved it. I love the ingenuity.
Right.
It was just so shallow that it was like I could only throw it on backhand. Wasn't even comfortable there. And then on forehand, no shot. It's more shallow than a katana. And I would never throw that on a forehand. And so it was like that little rounded bit at the end is like, where do I like have grip pressure?
Yeah, where
to get
do
this
I-
thing?
yeah.
But man, it really had that turn. And then once it hooked up, it went poof and hooked up hard at the end. Super cool.
Its best use is probably for climbers. You just hang it on your wall and you try to train your grip strength.
yeah, we are throwing the Boreum. We don't have one with us to do our number 2.
Nice.
Mikey, did you double up with me on that? Is that
I
your
did.
Number 2
Yeah,
as
that's
well?
what- thank
You
goodness.
can come on in.
All right, we're moving into number 1. Before we do, of course, if you absolutely just disagree with us entirely, comment down below. Subscribe to the channel while you're doing that. Like the video. Let us know what disc you absolutely just cannot stand. Again, this is all fun and games. And also, of course, if you're not already, be sure to go over, subscribe to Overthrow. Do you guys have any shout outs before we jump into number 1?
Yeah, I mean, if you hate any of my takes, I'm not going to read it on this channel. So you're going to have to go subscribe and comment on one of our videos.
Yep.
And then I'll respond there. I will respond to it. That is my guarantee.
Yes.
I'll respond via direct message on Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, if you really hate my take on the whatever that thing was, I couldn't look at.
If you want to tell Josh through a virtual face-to-face meeting, you can
could.
join their Patreon and do that.
That's
Yeah.
so
From
true.
my understanding,
Yeah.
you can tell them how
spend
much you disagree.
$50 for 30 minutes of my time, and I will sit there and listen to your love for all things Prodigy.
Worth every dime.
Yeah,
Worth every
absolutely.
dime.
But yeah, huge thank you guys for joining us, and we're gonna jump into number 1. What do you got?
This envy, not all envies. It's not because I hate the way that it flies. You have probably found out that I value things business and marketing, and this was just another failure. I'm sure that they sold a lot of these.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that every retailer has at least 100 in the back of their store of these left. It's just so tough to move these things. I mean, we've got them on our store,
You can promote the.
but I'm just
The
tired of
grab out.
looking at them in our store. So
please go buy this.
yeah, it's like you got this guy throws this shot, and the marketing behind it came out too little, too late.
Well, the funny thing about that disc is that I don't think I know a single disc golfer who doesn't own one. And like it was a great sell, but
just
once you
made
got
too
it,
many.
once you got it in your hands and you're like, they really cheaped out on the plastic for this, no one was gonna go buy a second one. If this came out in really comfortable and nice plastic and was a good thrower as well, it's like, okay, I got one on the shelf. I actually want to throw this. I might go buy a couple more because it flies so well and the plastic is so nice. But this, even for it's electron firm, right? Even for electron firm plastic, the inconsistencies in this run is wild, and they feel so cheap. This is not my number 1, but
We wouldn't have known. We never thrown it.
Granted, with MVP, I'm sure that they like learned, and I
Yeah.
think their evidence of like how they're handling Simon's wins and stuff like that, like they're doing much better about that now. A couple of years later, they probably just weren't. They didn't have that demand at that time.
Yes,
and they
yeah.
hadn't had that experience. So
And are you doubling up on this number
No.
one?
No, I've got my final.
Okay.
All right, he's got a final one.
Yeah.
I'll move on to Mikey's number one, actually. I'm going to go last.
Well, I'm a big ergonomics guy, is what I found. It's like I like rounded, good hand feel. And when something does not fit nicely into my hand, it sticks out to me as, yeah, if something else flies like this, even if it's got a really good flight, it's like I'd much rather bag the one that fits my hand ergonomically. Thus, the polecat. So,
Wow.
and I know, Robbie C out there will
say-
hate this, and that's okay. It's literally a lid.
It's quite
And like, where does my hand go? Like, how am I gonna smush it in there to get it flat up? I don't know what to do with it. So, and where do I grip? I guess I'm not a big fan grip guy.
I'm not a fan group guy.
So, I like power grip a lot of stuff. So for me, that disc, as fun of a disc as it is, and I'm fine that it exists, right? I'm not saying, hey, it should actually burn. Even for me, it does though. It does burn, and I never will throw it. And I touch your leg.
All right, my number one is actually going to be a kind of wild card here. It's going to be the Gas Blast Berg. The Gas Blast.
See you in the next one.
It's still the Gas. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Really though, picking it up, I've never been more uncomfortable holding a frisbee in my life. When I hold this, it's terrifying. Genuinely, the flight's good. People get good flights out of it. I have thrown the Berg more than most Berg fans. It's really unfortunate for me that I have done that. I played an entire tournament using only the Berg, and I beat a couple people who were using their full bag. I didn't play well, but I beat a couple people who used their full bag in a PDGA rated tournament, and I still hate it.
You had every reason to like it.
Had every reason to like it, but I don't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let us know what you think. And yeah, subscribe to the channel for more fun times like this. See you in the next one. Stay swanky.